Hello, welcome back to BlenderSushi Live Coding. In this episode, I'm gonna use Sverchok and then attempting to create this kind of cog wheel setups. Currently, it's not like 100% perfect because, as you know, if you have like a lot of cogs and then all with different sizes and maybe different number of gears, it's gonna be a little bit complex to do. The whole thing can be done definitely using the right math and formula and then whatnot. But anyhow, I got this that's kind of working. It's kind of going in that directions, and then you'll see that I'm able to kind of add the height and the width of the wheel and then controlling the radius, etc. um, it's not like exactly like a correct where the gears actually touching each other. No, it's just like currently I'm using the same gear as well, so there's a lot of problems there still. But I want to show you I want to break down how I did this anyway. It's actually quite simple. If I actually turn on the original triangles, this is how I actually start with. This is a script that's already come with Sverchok. It's called best candidate rectangle random point. So it's random points that scattered um, within a rectangle. Okay, I'll kind of go through everything bit by bit. So I always do this. First of all, I'm gonna hide the gear. That's not so important. It's this guy that's creating the triangle. That's interesting. Okay, that's apparently that's the points. Okay, that's the original points, right? This is basically from Script Node. If you load the Script Node, not the SN Lite, the SN, the original scripted node. And where's the node? Scripted node. And you'll see the example of script node. Just get the best candidate rectangle random points, and you get these random points. And you can control the height and the width, and then the radius, and also how many retries you want to try it. The higher the number, of course, the slower it gets. 20 is a good start, and then you can increase it. This will kind of equally spread the points within a rectangles. I think that's what it does. You can randomize the seed. And from this guy, you can use the Delaunay 2D node, and then you get something like this. So you can see the points, original points, and then the Delaunay. And so once you have the Delaunay, you can use the polygon boom nodes, and this will separate all the polygon faces. And then here I'm using circle fits triangle. This is also another script node that's provided already. It comes with Sverchok as an example. And what this guy does, if I create a circle, okay, from polygon booms, it's gonna separate all the triangles. All the triangle faces. If you pipe it into this something that looks like a triangles as an input, you get the center and radius, and that's actually for the circle. Okay, you can fit circles inside the triangles from the Delaunay. So this is how I started thinking, hey, maybe we can create this kind of gear setup, you know, like hundreds of gears and everything's rotating, something that looks pretty complex, but underneath is of course this is like a bunch of algorithm already. that you get for free with Sverchok. You can just use it. So yeah, okay, we have this circle inside triangle, so we can now hide the triangles. Now suddenly we get something that's quite interesting looking, like increase the radius. So it's almost touching each other. It's almost that the circle is almost touching each other. Maybe if I increase the retries, like I said, it's not like totally perfect gears setup, but this is quite decent actually. Now if I replace the circle with the gears, so this is the circle 1, 2, 3. I just join them. If I replace it with the gears, now the gear itself is a Script Node Lite script that I learned from Zeppy. He said at some point he showed me this way at GitHub to load the script. With my computer, the script is located inside this. This is actually add Curvacious Galore. It's an extra node that it comes with Blender as an add-on. Under curve, you have this add curve. Where is it? This cogwheel, I think. So it's under one of these. This actually being created using this script called add Curvacious Galore. And I'll just show it to you real quick. File, user preferences, add curve, extra, add curve, extra objects. Yeah, this guy, multiple others. And if you use it like this, you can create this kind of cog-looking object, cog-looking curve. You can control the teeth, the bevel, inner radius, blah blah blah. But this is like it's a once-off thing, and once you did it once you create it, you can't change it. But with Sverchok, you can create that wheel. Here the SNLite is sourcing this kind of simple script that's basically we use all the parameters, just list all the parameters here, and then it becomes this parameters that, and then we can just load the script and load the functions to output these points for our cogwheel. I'm pretty sure I've done live noding that's talk about doing this. Okay, and we have these points, and we can control all these points. And this is like a live objects. And if you are using UV connections, you get the gear. So this is really cool. If you're seeing something like that, like kind of a weird looking preview, just turn on Ngon's tessellations and it's fixed. So the cogwheel can actually do the vectorizations, like if you want like a random gears with different numbers, random inner radius, etc., random bevel. You can control that. You can actually have that kind of setup, but I think currently there's just a little bugs that I'm currently trying to ask the Sverchok developer to have a look at it. So maybe when they have time, they can have a look at it. Anyhow, we got our gears as a node. Finally, I just spawned the gears into the circle. So we have this. Let me hide our gears there. Okay, how did I do this? It's basically just piping this circle fits triangle data into the matrix transformations for our gears, and then I'm kind of rotating it using the frame, and then I'm rotating it using this random number between -5 and 9, so I can make the gears faster or slower. This is all these random numbers If negative, it's gonna go counterclockwise. If it's a positive number, it's gonna go clockwise. Maybe some of them might get like a 0 number, but currently I have no idea. Basically, I only want it to go to either minus or plus, either of these two numbers, right? And then generate like -1 or 1, -1, 1. But I don't know how to do this, so I just use this random number generator and multiply this frame number with it. And supposedly, yeah, this axis kind of controlling the rotations, but I'm not changing this 0, 0, 1. I'm just changing the angle. We will get this result. So it's like the gears kind of rotating in a crazy fashion. Sometimes you might get something that's almost rotating too slowly, almost like 0. But that's the current limitations. But anyhow, if we increase the radius, this is for the Launay points. I can increase the width and then the height. Everything will still work. And this is really, really interesting. And I think I need to share this with you guys. So yeah, maybe this can be useful. Even though this is like a two-dimensional, it's just a flat. You can of course do the extrusions and whatnot. Extrusion. Sverchok can do that using Solidify maybe, or yeah, I think Solidify will do it. Vertices and polygon. That looks like slightly more complicated, even though it's the same thing really. Alt A, now they're rotating. They are not perfect, but from far away it looks like part of a big machine. Would be nice if the cog has hole in the middle. Maybe you don't need that. Just put a cylinder and then yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, so I will give this setup as a gist. But yeah, I think I break down everything already, and this you can just download from internet and then use it if you want. I'm gonna save this, save as, and then remember, if you make something interesting using Sverchok and you want to share it, I recommend you to do your own live noding, or you just blog it and then you export the node tree for others to use. If it's if something you want to share, just export to GIS or export this, yeah, and then put it online. Anyway, yep, that's pretty much what I want to show you in this video. If you have any feedbacks, comments, anything, let me know and down below, and then I'll see you in the next video.